In this demo and walkthrough, we will look at some of the main areas of the system, how to export the statements to Word, and how to update Word after compiling the financial statements. For this demo, we will be using a cut-down version of a template which contains a statement of financial performance, a statement of financial position, and a graphical presentation. But first, let's look at some of the key areas of the software. So this is the main menu, and I have just started a new company, and I've called it EasyFS Demo Company Limited. The first main area would be the importing of data. Now, with the import function, it imports data from Excel. The primary information that is most commonly used is the import of the trial balance and the import of statements from Excel so that it can be automated in this software. In addition to that, you can import account mapping and also groups and classifications if you have that information to be imported. The next main area is the account grouping. After the trial balance has been imported into the system, you would group it. As you can see on this screen, you can see the grouping that has been performed. Grouping follows a structure. Now, this particular statement has a structure for the financial statement information, except for the cash flow, which is this 4 groups, and the last 3 groups have been used to group the financial information for the cash flow. At this stage, you can pass adjusting entries. Adjusting entries are split between individual entity adjustments and consolidated adjustments. The individual entity adjustments are further split between general journals and cash flow adjustments. The consolidated adjustments are split between elimination entries and consolidated cash flow adjustments. This enables you to prepare the adjusted trial balance and make any year-end adjustments that are needed when preparing the financial statements. When it comes to grouping, group form 1 is the main form that is used when it comes to grouping and classifying accounts. Now, in this particular screen over here, you would create your groups. As I said, the groups follow a structure. So if you look at revenue and if you filter down, it'll take you to the revenue related items, and you can filter down if you want a further breakdown of your revenue. So let me go back to group 1. And accounts are added and taken out. Now the screen below here is the groups or the accounts that have been grouped into that particular group. So I'm just going to take an account out of that group, and it will appear on ungrouped accounts, and I'm going to just group that account back in. So that's how you group and classify your accounts. The next main area is the preparation of the statement. The controls here are used to access the information that is used to prepare the statements, and if you were to flip the controls, here is where you create some of those information that will be used. For example, you could create a statement. At the moment there's 3, as I mentioned previously. You could create word fields. This is for static information and for linking to information on this statement so that it can be used on the Word document. And there's also combine fields, which combines the input fields to create more data so that only when an input field is changed, it'll update all the combined fields. Then there is the formatting. You create a row format, and also you can create your own cell formats. And there is the note numbering. Note numbering has 4 levels, and you can reference these numbers in the statements when they are in the EasyFS financial software, and also use the same numbers on Word. So therefore, when it is updated or changed, it updates all the information. For example, if you look at this note is note number 3 and this note is note number 4. So suppose I do not want note number 3 and I untick it, it renumbers all the numbers, thereby updating all the note numbers and all the references in the financial statements. I'll just open up just a P&L, for example. And as you can see, the statement's color coded here, and that enables you to identify which control has been used for where the information has come. For example, this grayed out color here is for the trial balance information. So if I were to open the trial balance, you can see that you'll have access to the consolidated groups, the entity level groups, and also you can have access to the individual accounts of a entity. So you could change the entities. This particular set has only one entity. So as you can see, this is the entity's individual accounts. Likewise, you can have access to all the other information. Now let's export the information that has been created. So at this moment, I'm going to be exporting the P&L, the balance sheet, and a graphical presentation. I'm also going to export all of the word fields and the note numbering. So let's export that. So as soon as you export it, what it does is it recalculates the financial statements, make sure it all aligns, and then it generates the information on Word. Once this information has been generated onto the Word document, you use this information to compile your financial statements. So it's completed the generation process. So as you can see, the graphical presentation is a standard graph. The graph is formatted using Word. So you can change the format of your graph as much as you like using the Word's formatting capabilities, and the data will be updated when you update Word subsequently. This is the word fields. You can use this word fields, which is also linked back to the EasyFS system, and so is the note numbering for consistency. This is the P&L, which is being formatted using a more traditional format, normally how you would see a statement of financial performance being displayed, and the balance sheet has been formatted using a more modern format, which is up to the user as to the type of format that they wish to present their financials in. When it comes to the tables, all formatting, or I should say most formatting, is performed within EasyFS financials. The only formatting that is performed in Word is either to change the font of the entire table, if you need to tab the table, or if you need to repeat the headers from the table. So you go to tables, rows, and you can repeat the headers. And if you need to do a paragraph page break of the table. So those are the only formatting that is performed on Word. All other formatting of the table is performed in EasyFS financials. Now I'm going to close this exported information and show you a table or a statement that I've compiled using that information. So now this is a typical financial statement. As you can see, I've used those word fields to create this statement. As you can see, the year is 2015, and we can include a table of contents. Then there's a director's report. The graph has been slightly changed, a slightly different format. I've used the information from the word fields again to be able to mention the profits and or losses, which also all of these would update when you update the statement. So just to demonstrate the update of the statement, I'm just going to delete a few lines from here and a few lines from here. Then I'm going to save this. Now let's look at the update function. As I said, the year is 2015. So I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to try and change the word fields to be, say, let's just make this 2019, 18 and 17. So I've changed the years and I'm changing the company name to ABC. Okay, so with those changes in place, I'm going to go over and I'm going to update that same statement that we just had a look at. Once again, it will perform its calculations and update all the statements. It will also create a backup of your Word document before starting to update it, so that you always have a backup, and it creates a backup every time it is run. This is a precautionary measure so that you don't lose any of the information that you already have in your Word documents. So it's done the process. So let's have a quick look. So as you can see, it's changed the name to ABC. It has changed the year. So it's changed the year here and it's changed the name right throughout the statement. The profit figure stays the same, as we did not adjust that. The financial statements, it has updated it. It's put in the information and it's updated the financial position. I've just put some note numbers here which I did not update, but I'll quickly update that as well. So as you can see, the cash flow is referenced to note 8, 9 is trade debtors and 10 is inventory. Let's just quickly do that update as well. So if I were to go into prepare statements and if I were to look at the note numbering, and if I were to say I don't need this note number 3. Right, as you can notice, it has updated all of the numbers. Cash flow became note number 7 instead of note number 8 and so forth. Now if I were to go back and update the Word document, it takes a few seconds for it to run depending on the number of statements that you're having. So it's updated there. The main thing we want to look at is the balance sheet here. So as you can see, it has changed the note numbering right throughout the statement and it's changed your notes. So that's how you update your financial statements and how it maintains integrity of your data, making sure your financial statements are always updated correctly.